SSA has one form that increases your check. They will not tell you about it unless you ask. That is not an exaggeration. It is policy. Social Security employees are trained to answer the questions you ask. They are not trained to volunteer information you do not ask for. So if you never ask about this specific form, you will never hear about it. Not in a letter, not in a phone call, not at your local office. This form exists right now. It is sitting in the Social Security system. It applies to millions of people over 60, and most people watching this video qualify for it without knowing it exists. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what the form is called, who qualifies, and the exact words to say when you call SSA. Stay with me. This is short, it is direct, and every minute matters. If you are not subscribed, subscribe now and turn on the bell. Social Security changes every year. Nobody explains the changes to you directly. This channel does. Let's get into it. Here is the form. It is called the Request for Earnings Record Correction. Most people have never heard that name. That is exactly the problem. Here is why this form matters so much. Your Social Security check is calculated using your lifetime earnings record. Every job you ever had, every dollar you ever earned that had Social Security tax taken out, all of it is supposed to be recorded correctly in SSA's system. It often is not. For decades, payroll data was entered by hand. A clerk typed numbers into a system. Mistakes happened constantly. A wrong number, a missing year, a job that closed down before records transferred properly. Every single mistake in your earnings record lowers your monthly check permanently every month for the rest of your life. One wrong year costs you about $100 a month. Two wrong years cost you $200 a month. That is $2,400 a year you are not getting. Over 10 years, that is $24,000 gone. This is not a hypothetical. This is happening right now to people in your exact situation. Here is how you check if this is happening to you. Go to ssa.gov, log into your My Social Security account. If you do not have one, create one. It takes 10 minutes. Once you are in, click on your earnings record. You will see every year you worked listed with the amount you earned next to it. Look at every single year carefully. Compare it to your own memory. Compare it to old tax documents if you still have them. Compare it to old pay stubs if you kept any. If you see a year that shows $0 but you know you worked that year, that is a red flag. If you see a year that shows a number much lower than what you actually earned, that is a red flag. If an entire job is missing from the list, that is a red flag. Any of these mean money is missing from your monthly check right now. Here is exactly what to do next. Call Social Security at 1-800-772-1213. When the agent answers, say this exact sentence: "I would like to file a request for earnings record correction." Say it exactly like that. Those specific words tell the agent exactly which process to start. This is not a general complaint. This is a specific legal process with a specific name. The agent will ask you which years look wrong. Tell them clearly. If you have any documents, old W-2 forms, old tax returns, old pay stubs, gather them before you call. They speed up the process significantly. If you do not have documents, do not worry. SSA can often verify earnings independently, but documents make the process faster and stronger. After you file the request, SSA reviews your record. If they confirm an error, they correct it. Your monthly benefit increases starting the next payment cycle. In many cases, you also receive a lump sum for the months you were underpaid going back to when you started collecting. This is real money. This is not a maybe. This is a documented legal correction process that exists specifically because earnings records contain errors more often than most people realize. Now let me tell you who is most likely to have errors. If you change jobs frequently during your working years, you are at higher risk. Every job change is another opportunity for a clerical mistake. If you worked in the 1970s, 1980s, or 1990s, you are at higher risk. That is when manual data entry was most common and most error-prone. If you ever worked for a small business that later closed, you are at higher risk. Small businesses sometimes failed to properly transfer payroll records before shutting down. If you ever had a period of self-employment, you are at higher risk. Self-employment earnings are reported differently and errors are more common. If any of these apply to you, stop and check your earnings record today, not next week, today. Here is something else most people do not know. This correction request has no deadline in most cases. You can file it years after you started collecting Social Security, but the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to find supporting documents. W-2 forms get thrown away, old employers close, records disappear. The best time to check your earnings record was years ago. The second best time is today. Let me walk you through exactly what the call sounds like step by step so you know exactly what to expect. You dial 1-800-772-1213. You will likely wait on hold. This is normal. Stay on the line. When the agent answers, give them your name and social security number to verify your identity. Then say, "I would like to file a request for earnings record correction." SSA does not check your earnings record for errors on their own. They process the numbers exactly as they were entered, decades ago, with no review unless you ask for one. An error from 1985 can sit in the system untouched for 40 years, quietly reducing your check every single month, and nobody at SSA will ever flag it unless you bring it to their attention. This is the entire reason this form exists. It exists because the system assumes the data is correct unless a person says otherwise. You are that person. Nobody else can check this for you. Your children cannot do it. Your spouse cannot do it on your behalf unless they have legal authority. This has to come from you, using your own account, with your own request. Let's talk about one more group of people who need to hear this specifically: widows and widowers. If your spouse passed away and their earnings record had errors, those errors may have reduced the survivor benefit you are now receiving. The same correction process applies. You have the right to request a review of your late spouse's earnings record if you believe it affected your survivor benefit calculation. This is a less common situation, but it is real, and almost nobody mentions it. If you are receiving a survivor benefit and the amount has ever felt lower than expected, this is worth checking. Let's summarize everything in this video in 3 clear steps. Step 1. Go to ssa.gov today. Log into your My Social Security account. Review every single year of your earnings record. Step 2. Identify any year that looks wrong, missing, 0, or too low. Step 3. Call 1-800-772-1213 and say the exact sentence: "I would like to file a request for earnings record correction." 3 steps, 10 minutes online, 1 phone call. That is the entire process. This form will not find you. SSA will not call you about it. Nobody will mail you a letter explaining it exists. The only way this money reaches your account is if you take these 3 steps yourself, starting today. If this video helped you, share it with someone you know who is over 60 and collecting Social Security. They may have the exact same error sitting in their record right now, costing them money every single month, and they have no idea. 1 phone call, 1 sentence. That is all it takes to start. I will see you in the next video.